Gotta say, it's fantastic. Say it again. It's fantastic. Guys, I think I know what movie I'm gonna be reviewing right now. Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish Studios here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I'm gonna be doing a review on the Fantastic Four First Steps. So, the Fantastic Four First Steps is the first film in a brand new MCU phase, which is Phase Six, which I think could be the greatest MCU phase period, and it is the third MCU movie to come out this year after Captain America: Brave New World and Thunderbolts. It is also the fifth Fantastic Four movie after the 1990s one, the two Tim Story ones, and Fan Four Stick. Wait, am I missing something? Yeah. The fifth one. I almost thought it was four, but anyways, yeah. And it came out in the year 2025. It technically does not come out in the US yet until tomorrow. Well, technically, I think tonight, based on when I think I will be uploading this in the US. And it is directed by Matt Shakman, the showrunner of WandaVision, which I love, and I think I should rewatch it. And it stars Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Ebon Moss-Backrack, Ralph Ineson, Julia Garner, Paul Walter Hauser, Natasha Lyonne, etc. And so the film tells a story taking place in a vibrant 1960s retro futuristic world in an alternate timeline. And it takes place 4 years after the Fantastic Four got their powers by heading in by heading into space and all that stuff. The Fantastic Four is forced to balance their roles as heroes with the strength of their family bond, and but at the same time, though they are appreciated by society, so it's very easy for them to serve society and stop crime from coming into Earth. But then but things just the stakes get higher when Galactus's herald, the female Silver Surfer, Shadabel, comes to Earth to warn the planet about the coming of Galactus. But upon but due to the fact that they do not know who Galactus is, they go to space to track down the Silver Surfer and find out who Galactus is. But then Galactus makes a deal with the Fantastic Four that they must give up the baby. Since the film basically starts off with Sue revealing to Rita that she's pregnant, by the way, and the story actually revolves around the baby, Franklin Richards. Galactus wants Franklin in order for him to spare the Earth. But then the Fantastic Four, Reed and Sue, choose not to, and they escape from Galactus. So now the Earth is put into risk, and the society turns against the Fantastic Four. But but they uh, they are willing to find solutions to save the Earth and stop Galactus. But can they be able to stop Galactus as well as Shadowbell's Silver Surfer? So yeah, now I know I tend to watch a lot of movies early, and I guess every time like someone watches the movie early, people would be like, "Oh, how did you watch it early?" Well, keep in mind, guys, that I don't usually get invited into into early premieres for movies. Instead, guys, I just you know I just watch them early as movies usually come out on Wednesdays in my area. So yeah, now this was one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and it was actually my second most anticipated movie of my second most anticipated superhero movie of 2025 behind Thunderbolts, and this was my most anticipated movie for this month of July. Yes, even more so than Superman. And yeah, July was certainly a big month for a superhero blockbuster, as two of the biggest the two biggest superhero movies of the year has came out this month. Superman and Fantastic Four, and they're competing against each other. This is very Batman versus Superman and Captain America Civil War all over the competition all over again. Where not only are they both having their competition, but they both have something in common. When it comes to 2016 with BVS and Civil War, they're both political superhero movies about heroes pitting against each other. But in the case of Superman and Fantastic Four, what they both have in common is that they're basically comic booky live action comic booky movies. But like they're very comic accurate. It was actually a huge risk for the Fantastic Four to be in the MCU and the MCU to make it. Considering how much how critically panned the previous Fantastic Four movies are. When they first announced this movie in Disney Investor Day back in 2020, yeah, it's been 5 years. Crazy, right? Well, technically 4 years since this movie was announced in December of 2020. Yeah, I this was actually one of my least anticipated MC movies. I was pretty optimistic about it, knowing that I think Marvel could get I could this could be the first Fantastic Four movie that I could at least enjoy. But believe it or not, guys, I actually thought that this was going to be the first MCU movie to get a Rotten score. Well, then but then we have a Eternals and now we got a bunch of MCU movies getting a Rotten score, and none of them deserve it, by the way. Yeah. But yeah, let's be real here. None of the Fantastic Four movies, especially from Fox, are good. We got the ones from the 90s, and honestly, guys, I am not watching that movie. I honestly do not want to watch 90s Fantastic Four. I think there's just no point in it at this point. I'm just gonna avoid it, like the plague. And then you got the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies. I know the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies have a fan base, but I'm sorry, I don't like them at all. I already did review them, and I did review them, and yeah, I gave them both negative reviews. But let's be real here. After watching this movie honestly made me hate the two Tim Story Fantastic Four movies more. Like, I actually did rewatch the first Fantastic Four movie from 2005 or earlier this morning, and my goodness, like the quality and comparisons between this and First Steps and Fantastic Four 2005. Oh man, I honestly now hate the Fantastic Four 2005, but even more now. My goodness, it is honestly fucking dreadful, and I will never understand why people praise it. And some even say that Fantastic Four First Steps will never top the 2005 Fantastic Four. 2000 Tim Story Fantastic Four 2005 will always be the definitive Fantastic Four. Like literally the only good thing about that movie is like the cast of the Fantastic Four. Um, like Ian Griffith, Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, and Michael Chiklis. They are the only redeeming qualities in the film. But it is such a short to watch show. I dropped the pen. It is painfully boring. Like it tries way too hard to be like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man film, but it just fails. So like it's basically Sam Raimi Spider-Man done bad. And yeah, I'm gonna be rewatching Rise of the Silver Surfer later today, and oh boy, yeah, let's see how that shit is gonna turn out. Oh boy. And then you got the abomination that is Fan Force Stick. Everybody hates the movie. And honestly, for 10 years, guys, until I saw the live action How to Train Dragon remake back in June, for 10 years, Fan Force Stick has held the record as the worst movie I saw in theaters. I kind of feel like it is because honestly, I refuse to acknowledge the fact that I saw the How to Train Dragon remake in theaters, even if I admit I did see it in theaters. So yeah, now yeah, so yeah, that with a disaster that was like Fantastic, nobody thought that we would ever see a good Fantastic Four adaptation. But I was pretty excited for this one. In fact, the more I thought about it, the more I got excited for it. Like, I remember we were supposed to get a John Watts Fantastic Four movie. Yeah, I still remember how crazy the rumors were about this one. Like, no, before even John Watts it was announced. There was already a rumored Fantastic Four cast, like with John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, Emily Blunt as Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, Zac Efron as the Human Torch, and I forgot who was gonna play the thing. I think it was Jason Segel. Yeah. So yeah, that was the original cast, and people were speculating that people suggested that Brad Bird should direct it as well because Fantastic Four gets Incredibles is basically the Fantastic Four 2.0. Yeah, I think Brad Bird would have been a perfect choice to direct it. And then you got like second rumor of what this movie could have been. A John Watts directed Fantastic Four movie, which by the way, John Watts being on the director's chair, that was actually real news. But then John Watts just stepped out, and the rumored cast for John Watts' version of Fantastic Four was going to be Adam Driver as Mr. Fantastic, Margot Robbie as Sue Storm slash Invisible Woman, Paul Mescal as Johnny Storm slash Human Torch, and David Diggs as the Thing. But the final version we got is well this one right here. And yeah, so yeah. But the trailers came out, and yeah, the trailers certainly got me hyped. And this was promised to be the biggest MC movie of the year, and one of the biggest ones today. Like because this is gonna be the setup to Avengers Doomsday. Yeah, we are gonna see the Fantastic Four traveling from their universe into the modern day MCU world, and although it was announced that Galactus was gonna be the main villain of it, we were gonna get a teaser of RDJ, so Doctor Doom. I won't say how that happened, and if we did see Doctor Doom, but yeah, after seeing this movie for myself in theaters yesterday, I gotta say, okay. Okay, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's exactly my reaction to the film. By the way, guys, I actually can't remember if that scene made it into the film or they cut it, but I feel like they might have cut it. But oh well, yeah. The Fantastic Four First Steps is no pun intended, fantastic. As the start of Phase 6, there is a lot of promise for this phase to be the greatest phase of the MCU yet, in my opinion. Like, there are only five MCU movies. This Brand New Day, Doomsday, Untitled July 2027 movie, and Secret Wars, which I think Secret Wars will be the GOAT of GOATs. Like the best live action movie ever, the best superhero movie ever. So yeah, as a reboot to a Fox Marvel movie, a Marvel property, this film shows why Disney buying Fox was a miracle for a studio. Fox has been consistently giving us bad after bad after bad Fantastic Four adaptations, from the Tim Story duology to Fan Force Suck. And this is the second time now where Fox has fucked something up, but then Disney, after Disney acquired Fox, they made a better version of what Fox has done. First, Percy Jackson, where Fox like pretty much made the Artemis Fowl of Percy Jackson to making the best adaptation of Percy Jackson possible with that the Disney Plus series. And now Disney did it again with Fantastic Four. After all the Fantastic Four disasters that Fox gave us, Disney was like, we can make the best version possible, and they were not wrong with that. With this film and Superman, it feels like we are entering into an era of live action comic book movies that feel like comic books coming to life. As much as Superman had that feel, this is the bigger definition of live action comic books coming to life. The opening sequence of the film especially shows the comic book style of the film with some with some scenes that had the Spider-Verse comic book effects in live action. I am not kidding. The opening logo for this, I know whenever I watch MCU movie ahead of other people, people would ask me, what was the opening MCU intro like? It's like Captain America Brave New World, the opening intro, which, by the way, I highly defend that the Brave New World, the opening Marvel intro. Not having, the traditional opening intro again was really cool. This film did not have the traditional opening uh, Marvel intro. It was a lot like they went full on Brave New World with the intro. The only difference is that this intro had colors, while Brave New World did not have. So yeah, this film's iteration of the Fantastic Four is no competition, no ifs or buts, the best yet, from the casting to the character arcs. I know Pedro Pascal as Reed has been getting a lot of backlash and controversy because of how he was only casted based on star power and not based on just comic accuracy. But I think you will be surprised by Pedro Pascal's performance as Reed. Yet another instance where a miscast actor ended up giving a performance so good that it makes the haters lost for words. Joseph Quinn was perfectly cast as Johnny, perfectly embodying the humor of his character. And speaking of which, the movie actually isn't as comedic as the trailer made it out to be. It is lighthearted in tone, but it's a more serious film just based on the fact that there were only little to no jokes in the film, only a few jokes. But when the jokes happened, I actually got laughing. Yeah, yeah. Ebon Moss Backrack as the thing, I will say is the weak link of the team for me, of the cast, but I still love them. The CGI of him is the most comic accurate yet, and it is a design that will surely hold up as time goes on. But the standout of the cast is easily no competition Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. Now that is Sue Storm, someone who's attractive and blonde and actually screams Invisible Woman. This is Vanessa Kirby's best performance yet, and this role made me love her as an actress even more. Now I'm willing to rewatch some of her other films after this. Yeah, I almost forgot to mention Joseph Quinn as Human Torch. I'd say that this is Joseph Quinn's second best performance behind Eddie Munson from Stranger Things. And I think Joseph Quinn was perfect for Human Torch. Yeah. Oh yeah. I already mentioned Joseph Quinn. Pedro Pascal as well. I think this is Pedro Pascal's best performance yet. Well, technically tied with this and or Joel on Reflection. I said walking out of the theater that this is Pedro Pascal's best performance. But yeah, I think Last of Us. I will say Last of Us still remains the best piece of media that Pedro Pascal starred in. But performance wise, it's Mr. Fantastic and Joel tied. Another standout of the film for me is Julia Garner as the female Silver Surfer, Shala Bal. I don't care what the sexist female haters say. Shala Bal is a better female Silver Surfer than Norrin Rad. I don't care what anyone else says. I am not apologizing for that. For that, uh, like Shala isn't just Galactus' herald. She actually has an origin story that the film explained in the middle of the film, and was technically more of a broken character than a villain. Seeing Julia Garner in this role made me even more excited to see her in Weapons, which is my most anticipated horror movie for the rest of the year, and my most anticipated movie of August. And also, let alone see that movie itself. Despite the rise of the Silver Surfer being the best of the Fox's Fantastic Four movies by default, what they did to Galactus in that movie is the biggest insult Fox has pulled during their time of making Fantastic Four movies. Not only did we finally get a good Galactus, but a Galactus that went hard. He is the best villain of 2025 so far. He has officially dethroned the Lex Luthor for that title, and the only villain for out of all the movies, incoming movies that I think could top Galactus as my favorite villain of the year is Varang from Avatar Fire and Ash. Oh, and by the way, shame I didn't get the Avatar Fire and Ash trailer. Like, am I ever gonna see the Avatar 3 trailer in the big screen? I don't want. I hope so. I will be seeing this movie again on either Monday or Tuesday. So yeah. Hopefully I can get the trailer for Avatar Fire and Ash when I see it for the second time. Oh, I should say as well that Galactus is the best MCU villain since Thanos. He has now dethroned the High Evolutionary and as the best post-Endgame MCU movie, MCU villain. Oh wait, Scarlet Witch too. Well, technically, I would say him, Scarlet Witch, or Carly Morgenthau. It's either one of those three as the best. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Yeah, Galactus is the best post-Endgame MCU villain. The marketing has been hiding his full form and voice. Once you see him in the actual movie, you will understand why. Hearing Ralph Ineson's amazing voice as Galactus gave me absolute chills, and he is freaking terrifying. He is almost the equivalent of a horror movie villain. There was a small jump scare Galactus makes in the film. One concern that people had about Galactus is that he is too small. No, he was just as humongous as the comics, but he just changed size once he reached Earth. The reason why he made himself smaller on Earth is because he had to scan the planet. He just didn't want to look at the planet from space. He actually wanted to scan the city itself. And Galactus, like if you know Galactus more and do research, he actually does change sizes. The story is really great too. Don't expect a deep story like Thunderbolts. It is a very simple story, but it is a story that's driven by family bond and stakes. If you actually care about the main Fantastic Four and their family bonding, and you're actually invested in that, then the story gets a pass for you. This movie has actual stakes in it, thanks to Galactus' presence and also Franklin too. Similar to Superman, the Fantastic Four do get rejected by society, but I think it's a more simple reason. I think people will understand why the Fantastic Four got controversy by the public, got cancelled. It's because they chose to let Galactus like take over Earth and instead of just having instead of just giving Galactus of what he wants. But that did not stop the Fantastic Four from helping the people and stopping Galactus. Yeah. What else? Oh yeah, Sue Storm might be the greatest movie mother ever. Yeah, she is now officially my new favorite movie mother. You can really feel her passion towards having a baby, and she'd do whatever it takes to protect the baby. Even from someone like Galactus. And yeah, Reed is also a top tier movie father, but I would say Mufasa from The Lion King is just the unbeatable movie father. And if you guys remember my theater reaction, I said that that this movie had the best superhero action of the year. On reflection, I would say that Superman had the best superhero action out of all the superhero movies that come out this year. But this movie's action scenes are absolutely incredible. They're driven by huge in scale, and yeah, just by they're driven just by how huge in scale these action scenes are, especially in the climax. Oh, and the visuals as well. I gotta say, this is the most visually stunning MCU movie yet, bar none. Officially topping the first Doctor Strange movie, Infinity War and Endgame. Like the fact that this movie took place in a retro '60s alternate universe gives a bigger advantage for the VFX artists to get creative, and they do not hold back with how visually stunning it looks. The space VFX is interstellar immaculate. The production design is done to perfection, up to a point where I wish I'd live in this '60s retro world. The CGI is also perfect on the designs, the powers, etc. The costumes are kept simple yet comic accurate. One of the absolute best aspects of the film is Michael Giacchino's score. I think this is the best score of the year, and nothing is stopping this. I think this is already a front runner to win the Frozen Awards for best original score. The theme OST of the film had me hopping while walking out of the theater like hun dun 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 hun han yeah that. And there are other tracks in the soundtrack that I'm gonna be listening to repeatedly for sure. The two biggest standout moments of the film would have to be the wormhole scene and and a certain thing Sue does in the final battle that I'm not gonna spoil, but you'll see where it is when you watch the actual movie. I'd say that Sue Storm scene is the true best scene in the film, and the wormhole scene is the second best scene in the film. There's a scene towards the end that I straight up cried, despite I knew what was that it was not going to end that way. I knew what was coming, and even if I saw it coming, yeah, I still bawled. I didn't just tear up and shed a tear like that. I actually did cry, no joke. Yeah, people said Franklin was going to be one of, if not the most powerful Marvel character ever for a while. And honestly, I thought that was an over exaggeration. But after seeing Franklin showing one of his powers in the end, I think Franklin could be just as powerful as people make him out to be. We all had the same prediction of how this movie is going to end, but I would just say it was not really like what we expected. And you might get worried about that the film wasn't going to set up Avengers Doomsday. Well, the mid credit scene was the true setup for Avengers Doomsday, and yeah, that mid credit scene was worth it. Oh, and also I gotta love how the after credit scene was basically an honored the original Fantastic Four comics creator Jack Kirby. That was so touching. So overall, the Fantastic Four First Steps was another banger from Marvel that shows how much they're truly cooking. Is this movie Thunderbolts level peak? No, it is not better than Thunderbolts, but I will say this is Deadpool Wolverine level peak. Like I'm actually debating on which I prefer, this or Deadpool Wolverine. I need to rewatch Deadpool Wolverine to truly decide on that. This truly is the definitive Fantastic Four adaptation, and it is so refreshing to see one that's not only done right, but adapted perfectly as well. I think that this is a $1 billion worthy movie, so please, guys, support this movie and help it hit $1 billion. But at this point, I won't be surprised if it doesn't because of how we only get a few $1 billion hits these days. Well, at least we got to have Zootopia 2 and Avatar Fire and Ash, which I'm confident that they will both make $1 billion at the box office. So as that, guys, I'm going to give the Fantastic Four First Steps, of course, 5 stars out of 5 masterpiece movie. So also for my movie review of Fantastic Four First Steps, what are your thoughts on the film? I doubt anyone has seen this film. Any of my viewers have watched this film yet. So let me ask you guys: did my rave review for the film hype get you more hype for the film, or are you just going to are you still going to keep your expectations in check and you don't really trust me? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for more videos to come. My next movie review will be on The Bad Guys 2, which I'm seeing next week. I'm gonna be continuing the Frozen Awards. I'm gonna be finishing off. That will be my next video for sure. So and yeah, so yeah, bye guys.